Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. So I wanted to do some quick announcements with this video because in 2 days I will be leaving for holidays and I will not be back until like halfway through August, something like that. So I wanted to do this video to celebrate the 500 subscribers, even though I haven't quite reached the mark yet. In a couple of days I should be reaching 500 subscribers, so I wanted to do this video to celebrate beforehand, and because I will not have time, as I said, I will leave for holidays, so I will not be able to make other videos. Thank you guys for the subscribers. Thank to all of you who are watching my videos. I appreciate all the support, all the comments. I really love each one of them, and I hope that you guys are enjoying the different content in my channel. I know that the main part of my channel is about BTD6 or like Bloons games, but I hope that you're also enjoying the guitar tutorials or the cover songs, my workout videos or calisthenics topics, and also like league gameplays, and whenever I upload other kind of games. So thank you again. Thank you for all of you. I didn't really expect to reach 500 this fast after I started uploading BTD6, but hey, I'm here now. So I really thank each one of you. And yeah, so as I said, I'm gonna start in 2 days. I'm gonna start my holidays finally. So I will not be here, and I will not be here to record and to upload videos. But what I've done is that I'm still recording and uploading a lot of videos, so that in these 2.5 weeks that I will not be home, I will be able to like publish one video every 2 days, and I will be able to still upload some content so you can enjoy it. And so I'm uploading like 2 new maps, 2 new advanced maps covering half cash, impossible, and chimps. Then I'm finishing off the tower guide and tutorial videos, so covering the last 3 towers, the 3 support towers. And then also I'm gonna upload 2 league gameplays that were pretty fun, so yeah, I decided to upload them as well. And also 2 workout videos halfway through, 1 or 2 workout videos, I don't remember yet, but it's gonna be something like that. So in that way, in these 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks that I will not be home, you can still enjoy the content, and yeah, so to keep the channel active in that way. Now the rest of the time of this video, I'm gonna just talk about another calisthenics topic, and hopefully I will be able to give to you some tips and about training, especially if you are a beginner and you don't have a lot of knowledge in terms of physiology and how your muscles work. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. So today I'm going to talk about muscle contraction. Now, muscle contraction, there are many different types of muscle contraction, and depending on which one you're using, you are training your muscles in a different way. Now there are 3 main muscle contractions as it is in that we can do every day. The first one is the concentric contraction, the second one is the eccentric, and the third one is the isometric. So concentric, eccentric, isometric. Now as the name suggests, these 3 contractions are going to be one the opposite of the other one, and then one is going to be isometric, so that means same length, and so it's going to be without any lengthening or shortening of the muscle. So taking into consideration here quite an easy muscle, in this case it can be the chest, right? So the pecs, chest muscle. Now you all know, well, even if you don't know, I'm going to tell you now that the muscle is going to originate from the aponeurosis here in the abdomen, so in the abdominal aponeurosis down here, then the middle fibers, so the low fibers, then the middle fibers are going to originate from the sternum, that is this bone right here in the middle of the chest, and then the upper fibers of the pack are going to originate from the upper part of the sternum and from the clavicle right here. Now all these fibers are going to run, they're going to get together, and they're going to attach in this spot of the bone that is the small tuberosity. It's called the small tuberosity of the humerus. So it's like a bone part at which the fibers are going to attach. And so you can see that the main function of the pack is going to be bringing the humerus, so this bone right here, towards the chest. Now, because of the fact that these fibers are originating from slightly different places, you can see that actually the upper fibers are going to more do this movement. So they're going to bring the humerus closer to the clavicle and to this side. So this side right here, all right? The middle chest is going to mainly do the abduction, so it's going to bring the humerus towards the sternum. And instead the lower fibers are going to bring instead the humerus towards the abdomen, so downwards. Right, so those are the three movements of the pack. Now, how can you put here the concentric, eccentric, and isometric movements? It's pretty easy. Now, the concentric movements is the movement at which the fibers starting from a lengthening position. So imagine right here. So I'm stretching out the pack. So from this position, I'm shortening the fiber. So I'm contracting the muscle, and I'm shortening all the fibers. So in this case, I'm going to just show the abduction because it's the easiest one. So in this case, so the pack from here is contracting, and is bringing, and the fibers are shortening, and that's the concentric movement. So from a stretch position to the totally maxed contracted position. The eccentric movement is exactly the opposite. So starting from a maximally contracted position and shortened position, you lengthen the muscle until it is almost it's completely stretched out. Now this movement though must be done resisting the contraction. So in this case, for example, to really do a good eccentric part of the pack, I should have something that is pulling my arm towards my chest. I should have something that is pulling my arm away from my chest, but I'm resisting it. So I'm letting this resistance win me, so the muscle is lengthening and it's stretching, but I'm controlling it. So I'm opposing this force, but I'm letting it win. I'm letting it win until the muscle lengthens and stretches out completely. So this can be done in a push-up position. Now, unfortunately, here I cannot really show you the push-up position, but so here, all right. So in this case, while in the push-up position, you're lowering yourself, but you're controlling the lowering part. You're actually doing an eccentric part of the movement of using the pack, because here the gravity is just pulling your arm away, right? Because your body tells to fall towards the ground. And so the gravity is doing the resistance, but because of the fact that you're controlling it, so you're resisting this pulling away of your arm. That's why this contraction now it's eccentric. So you're controlling the stretching of the muscle. And then finally, the isometric contraction. Isometric means same length. So as the same suggests, is a contraction, a movement in which you're not going to have either a concentric and either an eccentric contraction. You're just going to hold the same length of the fibers. So in this case, for example, taking again a push-up, it can either be an isometric with the arms completely straight like this. It can be an isometric contraction with the arms like this. It can be an isometric contraction with the arms like this, or with the arms like this. So it doesn't really matter which length you're creating the isometric contraction. The important thing is that once you're doing this isometric contraction, you're holding it. So you're not either pushing or falling. You're just holding at the same length. Now, why this is important? Because of the fact that depending on the contraction that you're doing, you're developing a different amount of tension. Now, tension is the overall strength So the ability of the muscle to develop his own strength. Now, when you're doing eccentric contractions, that's the movement at which the muscle is going to develop the highest tension possible. So when you're controlling your body, in this case, taking example again, the pack. So while you're controlling your body, that's when your muscle can generate the highest tension possible. So your body best, the movement that your body best do is controlling. So in this case, imagine I'm taking the deltoid as a reference. So now imagine here on my hand I have a super heavy weight that I cannot keep with my shoulder. So I need both arms. But then at a certain point I just leave one arm, and with this arm the weight is winning, but I'm trying to resist. So I'm resisting the more I can. That's the eccentric contraction, and that movement is the movement at which the muscle is going to generate the highest tension. So the muscles in our whole body best are able to best resist the lengthening of the muscle. Then in grades in terms of tension comes the isometric contraction. So then our muscles, after being able to resist, then our muscles are best to be able to hold a certain position. So in this case, you're holding the isometric. Here, or here, doesn't matter. So the hold of the muscle the muscle fibers in the same length, that's the isometric. And so the body can generate his second best tension can be generated while you're doing isometric movements. And then lastly and finally, the lowest amount of tension is generated when your muscles are contracting. So when your muscles are contracting and doing the concentric movement, that's when our muscles generate the lowest amount of tension possible. Now, why this is important to know, especially if you're a beginner? If you're a beginner, you must focus first on doing eccentric and isometric exercises, because that is already something at which your body can generate more tension. And so those exercises, first of all, you should be being able to do them, because you can generate more tension. At the same time, because you're generating more tension, your muscles are gonna also grow faster. So imagine now a pull-up. Now a pull-up is a pretty advanced movement, and normally, like, people that don't train at all cannot really do pull-ups with proper form done correctly, because they lack the strength. And so imagine one of these people then want to start calisthenics, and they want to do pull-ups because they see a lot of athletes doing pull-ups. Then they try to do pull-ups and they can't. And there are two main reasons why they can't. First of all, of course, because they don't have the strength yet. They haven't trained, so their muscles are not used to do that movement. But the second main thing why they can't do pull-ups is because pull-ups is a very concentric movement. It's almost solely a concentric movement, and so it's the movement at which the muscle is already the weakest. So the muscle is generating the lowest tension possible. So if on top of that you add the fact that the muscle is not trained, then you have, boom, you can't do pull-ups. So especially at the beginning, when you're a beginner, you should instead focus more on doing eccentric or isometrics. So for example, instead of trying to pull yourself up, go with a lower bar and try to hold yourself up. Just hold. Try to hold, and then try to resist as you start getting fatigued and you start falling down. Try to resist the movement. So do the eccentric contractions. In this case, you're resisting the fact that you're falling, but you're resisting, boom. And then you get up again, you resist, and so on. So in that way, first of all, you have already more tension, so you are already physiologically, you have more strength at being able to do an eccentric exercise than doing a concentric exercise. And on top of that, the fact that you're also generating more tension with this exercise is gonna make your muscles develop faster, so you may acquire the strength to be able to then do as well the concentric pull-up. All right, so that's why for pull-ups, for push-ups, like dips, all these exercises, yes, I know it's really cool to do the concentric movement, and that's what normally is what people want to do. But when you're a beginner and you just started, it's better to concentrate instead on eccentric movements, exercises, and also isometric exercises. So in this case, it could be like hanging from a bar and trying to hang, to resist without letting your body fall down. Then if you start falling down, try to resist so you have both isometric and both eccentric movements. So resist, and then when you reach 90 degrees and you can't hold anymore, go down. Then you start again here, you resist, and so in that way you're already placing your body in a condition at which your body can generate, your muscles can generate more tension, and so you can perform better, you can improve faster, because you're giving more hypertrophy stimulus, because you're creating more tension on the muscle, and you're not going to be that disappointed that you cannot do the exercises. So yes, you may not be able to do a pull-up, but if you can hold at least like 2-3 seconds, and if you can hold up to 3 seconds from here, and you can do the eccentric part like 2 seconds, if you can hold, if you can somehow control, then that's already super good, and you're already training your muscles and you're getting stronger and stronger. Now, as it is for pull-ups, push-ups and dips, normally on dips, the concentric part of the movement is when you're at the bottom and you just push yourself up. So when you're doing eccentric in dips, you start from the top position and you just control your way down. So you control. When you're at the bottom, you just fall backwards, then you jump again back up, and then you control, and then you jump back up. So in that way, you're doing the eccentric only part of the movement. You're not doing the concentric. You're building up your strength until you can finally do the concentric dip done with good form and done it correctly. The isometric for the dip is pretty easy. So you can either like do the isometrics with your arms straight, so just resisting in the top of the movement. You can either like bend a little bit your elbows and trying to hold that position, or you can even try to hold the position a little deeper. So for example here, arms almost 90 degrees and you're trying to hold that position, so isometrically. And then finally for push-ups, again, actually push-ups is pretty similar to dips. So you start, the first part of the movement is actually an eccentric part of the movement. So as you just let your body fall by you're controlling it until you go to the ground, that's the eccentric part. So just by doing that, and then you reach the floor, then you come back up, and then you start again with arms straight, then you control, then you get back up, and then you start again. That's the eccentric part right away. And for the isometric part is exactly the same. So you can start either by having your arms straight, your elbows a little bent, more bent, super close to the ground, depending on your level, depending on the difficulty that you find challenging. So yeah, that's my tip. If you're a beginner, try not to do right off the concentric movements, because those movements are harder for the very simple reason that physiologically your muscle fibers generate the lowest tension, so they have the lowest strength to be able to perform those exercises. So start first with eccentric and isometric exercises, and then as you improve on those, you're going to be seeing that without even doing concentric exercises, you're going to be increasing your strength, and you're going to be able to start doing them. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are going to have a very nice summer, and see ya. Bye bye.